Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the IPF Forum. How many years is it now, Fran, that we've been coming? Ninth year. Wow, that's amazing. Good to see everybody come out today for this very special event. My name is Darcy Murdoch. I had a lung transplant almost 11 years ago, and I lived with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. So any of you that are waiting for a transplant, please feel that there's lots of hope. And anybody that isn't, well, we're here for you. This is my cohort, Mr. Bob Meller. He's coming up to 10 years since his double lung transplant, so we work together promoting lung transplant and Facebook pages and things like that. He'll be explaining that a little later as things go on. But I'm here to introduce a special person that I've known for a long time. His name is Mr. Chris Lamb, who happens to be the CEO of the BC Lung Foundation. And he's here to welcome everyone with the opening remarks. Come on up, Chris. Here.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to a very important patient forum for us. First of all, I want to acknowledge that we are on the unceded and traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation. And that's also really important for us today because we do want to take care of the air that we all breathe in, and I know that's really important to all the people who are in this room today. And I promise you that today, we are going to have fantastic learnings, we're going to have fantastic talks. I think it's so fantastic that we get to gather and get to do exactly that. And I promise every single one of you, you will leave today feeling more empowered and a little stronger than when you started this morning. So that's going to be fantastic. Before I hand this off and we really get going on all of this, I want to say that there will be time for questions, of course. There is a panel discussion. So save all your questions for that portion of the event. There will be a microphone that goes around, and that's for a number of reasons. One, if you want to watch this back later, you will be able to. Of course, this is also being live streamed to people who are outside of our province, so they're going to want to hear your fantastic question as well. And I think it's really important that if you feel you have a question, there is no silly question. We are here to answer those questions. Those experts are here to help you with that. And I can guarantee you, if you had that question, somebody else does as well. So feel free to do that. That microphone will come around the room. Now, before we really get going, I want to thank a couple people as well. You heard that fantastic saxophone music that was playing in the background. A patient as well, that's Rick Medley who was doing that, so give Rick a round of applause. I want to thank Bob and Darcy as well for their work to getting this all together. Darcy, you're going to hear perform later as well, which is a fantastic thing. And of course, I want to thank Providence Healthcare, BioScript Solutions, Trevi Therapeutics, and Rebel Sleep Institute has all really come together to make sure that we have the learnings that we're going to have today. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Fran Schooley. Fran, who's been involved with this for so long, she's a big friend of the BC Lung Foundation, and of course her work at St. Paul's. And a lot of you know her and probably can't go on if she wasn't here. So thank you to Fran, and Fran, why don't you come on up?
Welcome to our 9th annual and plowing ahead for the 10th. First of all, I want to thank Men Biagton, who is my colleague from BC Lung, and she should be up here too, but she won't. She's a vital part of this whole thing and with the organizing and kind of pulling the threads in. So welcome to the forum today. We're going to do it a little bit differently, hoping that we can get everybody on board and have our panel discussion before we break for lunch and get the questions from all that are included, except for Dr. Nayar, who unfortunately has to get back to work. So after her talk, there will be a 5-minute talk and question time for that. I would like to mention we have a couple of people doing volunteer work here today. Prem, who is the new assistant with Dr. Biagton over at BC Lung, and he's doing a fabulous job learning the ropes. Parza, who is his first time from UBC volunteering with us. Those were the two fellows fumbling through all the name tags that we didn't have done alphabetically, and thank you for your patience. It was great. They have devoted their day to helping us out here. And Matthew, where's Matthew? Oh, there he is. Hi, Matthew. Matthew is also from BC Lung. It's probably his 8th year here. I'm not too sure, but he's been with us setting up sound systems and organizing all of us. We appreciate you coming. Without the patients, there wouldn't be the forum. Without the forum, there wouldn't be the education. And I can guarantee you that the doctors look forward as much to doing this for you and becoming part of it. I actually had one of them phone me about a month ago and said, "You haven't called me about the forum this year." Oh, well, we gave you a break. We thought somebody else would like to do it because we always ask you. And they said, "Oh, no, we've been waiting to hear. When is it?" So they're as involved as the patients are that come, and they appreciate the attendance and the learning situation, which makes looking after something like pulmonary fibrosis, whatever type you have, that much easier when you understand the basics for it. Also seated at each of the tables, or most of the tables, is at least one person who has had a lung transplant. So even if you're not having a transplant, this person has been through the voyage. They know what the before and after situation is. Talk to your seatmate. We're all experiencing issues. We all have different ways of dealing with them, and that's the way of getting through the day and into the next month and into the next year. And some of these people that I look out and see them sitting here have been coming for the last 5 or 6 years, which is very heartening to us, meaning that something is going right, whether it's the medication, whether it's the lifestyle, or just the will to plow on. So reach out. You don't know who's next door, but they're there, okay? We do have some fantastic, as Chris mentioned, the people who are coming here to support us in their background work with us. New this year is Rebel. And they have a table farther down. If you're interested, even if you don't have need of a concentrator or oxygen tank or anything like that, they've got lots of information there. Go and talk to her. It's something to look at and to be informed about. BioScript, they are the independent pharmacy who is looking after one of the drugs, and they have got information on dealing with the disease, whether it's whatever drug it is. And we have over here the 2 new, well, I guess Ken isn't new, but the 2 new assistants from BI who are dealing with OFEV. Melissa and Ken, had to think there for a minute because I almost went to Shelley. Sorry, Melissa and Ken are here. They're here if you want to ask questions or things are going on. As for personal information and whatnot, they probably have not got the background for it because where we're seated, but in general, they're the people to talk to. And yeah, I am. I just want to thank BC Lung in general. They've been fabulous, and we support their endeavor in all their other diseases, such as asthma and COPD, whatever they're doing. They do a lot of work in TB and air quality, too. So thank you, BC Lung. Okay, we will start. We're going to have Christine come up. Christine, if you would like. Christine is a post-transplant. Hasn't been all that easy, but is turning out absolutely great now. She is from a family that, unfortunately, everybody in the family, except for the mother, has come down with some sort of pulmonary fibrosis, each person different, which is unusual in itself. But Christine is here to tell you about the trip after the transplant, but mainly about dealing with it beforehand. Come on in, Christine. Don't fall.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for the invite, Fran. At first I thought, well, I'm not very interesting, but then I did ponder my own journey, and it's been very lengthy. I'm almost 33 years following a diagnosis in 1993. I was just graduating from UBC at the time and hospitalized. They did determine that I had hypersensitivity pneumonitis with fibrosis. And at that time, they called it something different. I think it was extrinsic allergic alveolitis. It was determined from a bird at that time. But over time, over 28 years, I developed more and more fibrosis. And my quality of life had sort of declined a little bit. But I want to let you know that I managed to graduate from the hospital, went in and wrote all my exams and was done, got married that same year, and then had 3 girls, lived a pretty good life. And going back 33 years, they didn't certainly know as much as they do now. And I think part of my mindset was a little bit double-edged. I did resist a lot of the symptoms that I was feeling, and tried to just ignore them and carry on. And of course, a young mom who's working full-time and shift work as well for years and years. It was hard, but I did push through, and it was hard like it was for anybody else. And the flip side of that, sort of pushing through and ignoring some of the signs and symptoms, was also a mindset. I don't think it was deliberate at the time, but it was also an element of positivity, like I can do this, and I just want to be normal and continue and enjoy life as best I can. So I did do that, sometimes a little too much. Fast forward to 2010, and I sort of started to decline a little bit, but still kept doing normal things, kept working. Fast forward to COVID, and I think on day 1 of COVID, I sort of went into isolation, and my dad's here today, was able to provide their vacation place for me to sort of isolate, and I stayed there for a year, almost a year, working by myself. Was doing okay on oxygen. I was working remotely, found some ways to be innovative with some exercise, which was a little interesting, but I still did it. And then in May of that year, kind of had the crash, and because I was alone, I didn't really know what to do, so I phoned our savior, Fran, and said, I'm in trouble, I really can't breathe. And it was 28 years of being okay and then suddenly not. And she mobilized, I don't know who, but felt like an army. And by October, I was listed, and I was transplanted in January of 2021 after that. I did have a rough ride through transplant in the beginning, and was in hospital and GF Strong for 4.5 months with the most incredible care I could ever ask for. The good news is it's just gotten better and better since then. And I continue to exercise. I enjoy life. I lost a husband. But honestly, things are very, very good. And if I can leave you, I will say this as well. I did manage 2.5 years post-transplant to climb the Squamish Chief, not the face, but the back. And I didn't really climb. I dragged my carcass up there. I didn't quite make it to the top because I knew I would never make it down, save for a helicopter ride. So about 3/4 of the way, took some photos and went down. I will never do it again, but it is something that I did and I cherish and I'm so grateful for. So if I can leave you with just a few things. Don't let your disease define you. You are much more than your disease. We have to embrace it, accept it to a certain degree, I think, but always remain hopeful. Look after your mental health. It's so important. Move your body. Get good sleep, eat good food. Reach out and ask for help when you need it. It's okay. And this is a tough road, but it's also a really good road. So thank you.